The St. Joseph Symphony concludes its performance season this weekend, and tonight's guest on Community Conversations with Charles Christian is Dr. Christopher Kelts, the conductor of the St. Joseph Symphony. Charles, what do you got for us?
Thank you very much, Riley, and it is a pleasure to have you back. You're one of my few, actually only the second, repeat offenders here on this portion of the program, so thanks for coming.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Great, and you have some exciting news, a lot of things going on, but the final concert of the season for the St. Joseph Symphony is coming up, Tchaikovsky, the entire program. All right, and tell us about that and why you chose Tchaikovsky to wrap it up.
So, a composer like Tchaikovsky, in the most simplest of terms, I think people are drawn to his music because of the what I would call on-the-sleeve romantic sounds.
Okay.
Deep emotion. You don't have to be a philosopher to know the kind of emotion that Tchaikovsky's writing for. We've got an all-string piece, which is amazing, and a guest violinist.
Oh, wow, and tell us about your guest violinist.
So her name is Sophia Hahn. Yeah. She's from Southeast Missouri, teaching at in Cape Girardeau. Fabulous violinist, going to play the violin concerto, which is just like fire. Fire and song. She called this piece her Ride or Die.
Ride or Die.
So there we go.
There you go. Very good. Well, and we'll have in just a moment ways folks can buy tickets if they haven't already. It's on the site, but we'll throw that up here in a moment. But let's talk about, this is your second time on, so I can ask a few more expanded questions. But tell us, I've gotten to see you conduct, and wonderful, and I love the symphony, have some buddies there. But if I could say your style, and I don't embarrass you, but
because everyone can see me on television.
You have a unique style that I think, now some conductors I would describe as a little more maybe serious and stoic. Your style, certainly serious in regard to the music, but more, I would call it more engaging, more humorous, more interactive. How did that come about in your own sort of career and experience? How did you develop that style?
That's a really good question. I wasn't prepared for this question.
Okay,
but I'm back a second time, so I should have.
That's all right.
The short answer is that at some point I had wondered to myself, every conductor asks themselves about what kind of persona they want to have, because you are a leader of 50 and 60 brains and ideas in the room. Making music is a very serious thing because it's what people need emotionally to make sense of our own lives.
Sure.
But at the same time, I am who I am. I've always been lighthearted. I've been called gregarious, humorous. I've been called, well, we won't go there. But, and so for me, music is either one of two choices. It's either a hassle or it's one of life's greatest delights. And I choose the latter.
Well, there you go. Well, that really does sum up a lot of what comes out, not only in the choices probably that you make of music, but the way you approach that music when you conduct and when you interact with the audience. You write the what would be called the notes, the program notes or the liner notes, right?
We have Monty Carter, who writes our formal liner notes, and then I give from the podium sort of like interactive, interjected ideas about what people are going to hear. So you can come to the symphony not knowing a thing about what you're about to hear and maybe get some insight that might help your experience.
Great. And how's that connected? I know that you do work with youth, you do youth clinics, and of course invite youth and conduct some youth orchestras over the years. How does your approach connect with youth, and how do they respond to that?
So, for example, today, as a matter of fact, I was out at Lafayette High School working with Ms. Melissa Heil's orchestra, and I love working with young musicians. We get to explore different ways to techniques and methods to try to make different sounds in the classroom. And I think in turn they become aware of us as a symphony entity in the city, and then we become aware of them and try to meet their needs and what might inspire them. A violinist came up to me at the end of today's clinic and said, I want to come to this weekend's concert.
Great. Wow.
I said, you need to come to this weekend's concert.
Good stuff. Very good. And now, do you, I know the tryouts come, when do tryouts happen for the St. Joseph Symphony? How does that happen?
if we have formal auditions, they're usually announced around this time of year, and then they happen in the summer. Okay. We have actually started the process of sending out our season contracts. We have some amazing musicians who have been with the orchestra for 20 plus years, and so they'll be making, repeat of. I almost said offenders, because you use that word. Repeated appearances with our season, and so it actually makes contracting the season very easy, because people are eager to come back.
Sure.
So
that helps a lot too.
Yes, very much.
And talk about part of that stylistic change, I would call it, for this symphony is I noticed the programs are a bit shorter in length and really focus in on just a few pieces. And that's it. What made that choice for you?
Well, coming out of the pandemic, one of the audience survey responses that we heard the most is people really didn't miss the intermission. Okay. And so by that rationale, we thought, okay, then we're going to go ahead and program an entire what we would call like a musical dinner. Okay. People will come and they'll sit and they'll enjoy the different courses that are the different pieces. Right. And then it helps us in our preparation that we don't overextend ourselves in the amount of time that we have to prepare. Okay. Which is, in my humble opinion, made our product unbelievable. Okay. Our musicians are unbelievable.
That's great. That's great. And what are some of the highlights from this past? And by the way, on the screen right now is where you can get tickets at the office for Saturday. But yeah, what are? Just give me a couple of highlights before we go here this past season.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we opened our season with Brahms Symphony No. 2, and our past president Barry Burr, who people know here in town, he's a huge Brahms fan, and everybody loved it. Our last concert in March, we did Dvorak's Symphony No. 8, which we called Czech Mix. Yeah. We also played a piece by Mozart, which was written in Prague. Sure. And I mean, our audiences just ate it up. And the more they ingest and they connect, the more we connect. Right. We feed off of each other. Right. An interactive audience is what lights our fire.
That's good. All right. Well, hopefully this interactive audience is going to be a part of Saturday night, this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, April 22nd. As you see, the Tchaikovsky emphasis there. stjosephsymphony.org is a great place to get tickets. Also at the box office right next door to this station. And we do appreciate the work that you do, not only with the symphony, but with our youth as well. I mean, many of the youth, the high schools and Missouri Western, I think you draw from them some too. And so that has been a wonderful thing. Dr. Christopher Kelts, thanks for joining us for Community Conversations this week. And thank you for joining us as well. We'll have more news after the break.
Thanks, Charles.